Hi guys, today is a part 2 of 9.2. So today we're going to talk about the unit circle. The circle, this is unit circle which radius is 1. So equation of the circle is x squared plus y squared equals 1, which has a center 0, 0, radius 1 is called a unit circle. The values of sine and cosine are simplified, the y coordinate and x coordinate respectively. So for example, we know if you draw a triangle, let me just sketch the triangle. Even though this one is a theta, let me draw a triangle here. So we know the base of a triangle is a x coordinate. The height of a triangle is a y coordinate. So x is a adjacent, y is a opposite of theta, right? So and this is a radius, which is 1. So the sine is a opposite over hypotenuse, which is a y over r. But r, isn't it 1? Because radius is 1, so which is y over 1 equals y, right? So that's why the y coordinate, y, is equal to sine theta on the unit circle. Now let's try to cosine theta. So cosine is a adjacent over hypotenuse, which is a x over r. X over r, radius is a 1, so x over 1, which is a x. So how we can express x comma y? That is a cosine theta comma sine theta. So x is a cosine theta, y is a sine theta. All right, so now let's find out the sixth trig function. So theta is a 100 degree, but in this case we have to use a unit circle. So first of all, let me sketch the unit circle. So this is a unit circle. So x coordinate, y coordinate, and let me sketch the unit circle which radius is a 1 and -1, -1 and 1. All right, so theta is a 100 degree. So we know this one is a 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degrees, and 270 and 360 degrees, right? So 180 degree, which is here. So this is a theta. And that coordinate is a what? Isn't it -1, comma 0? Yes. So this is the x coordinate. So you see that so cosine theta is equivalent to the x coordinate. So cosine theta is a -1. So cosine theta is a -1. Now let's compare the y coordinate. So y coordinate is equivalent to sine theta. So sine theta is a 0. All right. Now we got that. All right. So now let's think about the tan theta. So think about the tan theta. So isn't it opposite? So 12, isn't it opposite? If you go back to the triangle, opposite over adjacent. So y over x. So y over x. So y over x. We know 0 over number, isn't it just 0? Okay, so now from there, we can find out the cosecant theta. Cosecant theta, isn't it 1 over sine, which is a 1 over 0. Guys, if the denominator is 0, what is it? This one, isn't it undefined? So this one is a undefined. Now secant theta, which is a 1 over cosine theta. So 1 over -1, which is a -1. Now next one is a cotan theta. Cotan is a 1 over 10, which is a 1 over 0. What is a 1 over 0? Isn't it undefined? So this is undefined. Now let's take a look at the next one. The theta is a 2 pi. So right here. So draw the unit circle. So 1, 1, -1, and -1. So 2 pi. So it's going all the way around. So if you go all the way around, so it just came back where it starts. So this is a theta. So can you read this coordinate? So this coordinate is at 1, 0. So this coordinate, that point is at 1, 0, right? Okay. So x coordinate is equal to the cosine theta. So cosine theta equals 1. So cosine theta equals 1. Now sine theta, which is a y coordinate. So y coordinate, just read the y coordinate, which is a 0. Now tan theta, so which is a opposite over adjacent, y over x. So y over x, y over x, which is a 0. All right, so now let's find out cosecant theta, 1 over sine theta, 1 over 0, undefined. Now secant theta, which is a 1 over cosine, so 1 over 1, which is a 1. Cotan theta, isn't it? 1 over 10, which is a 1 over 0, which is a undefined. Okay? Okay. So in this case, you don't have to worry about D because we have to learn about the next topic and then we gotta come back. So let's try C. So theta is a 3 power 2. So let me sketch the unit circle. So this is a unit circle. So 1, negative 1, and this is a y coordinate, and then y-axis and an x-axis. Now 3 pi over 2. So we know that is a pi plus pi over 2. So pi is 180. Pi over 2 is a 90 degrees. So 3 pi over 2, isn't it? Right here. So this is a theta. So can you read the coordinate of that point, which is a 0, comma, negative 1. The point is 0, comma, negative 1. So now we're going to think about the x-coordinate. Again, the x-coordinate is a cosine theta. So cosine theta is a x-coordinate, which is a 0. Now, sine theta is a y-coordinate, which is a negative 1. Now, the tan theta, y over x, which is a negative 1 over 0. Now, my denominator is a undefined, so undefined. All right? Okay, now from there, we can find out the cosecant theta, cosecant 1 over sine. So 1 over negative 1, so negative 1. Now, secant theta, 1 over cosine, so 1 over 0, which is a undefined. Now, the next one is a 10. So, cotan theta is a 1 over 10. So, this is a 10, which is a negative 1 over 0. So, if you flip it, which is a 0 over negative 1. So, what is it? Is it just 0? So, cotan theta is a 0. Now, if you see the back side, now we have this chart. So, this chart is about the unit circle. So let me explain what is this about. So if you take a look at this unit circle, so this is a x coordinate, and we know that this is a y coordinate. You see that there are two blanks, so which means the first blank is about the degree. So now this is on the positive side of x-axis, which is a 0 degree. 0 degree, but at the same time, isn't it the 0 radian? So this one is 0 radian. And at the same time, since this one is a unit circle, we got to read the x and y coordinate. We know that point is a 1, comma 0. Yes? Okay, now the each angle is equivalent to the 30 degree. So from here to here, that's the theta. So the next one is a 30 degrees. 30 degree, how can you change to the radian? You're going to multiply pi over 180 degrees, which gives you pi over 6. Okay. Now we're going to find out the x and y coordinate. So x coordinate is, so x coordinate is the cosine theta, right? So cosine theta is a x, sine theta is a y. Now the theta is a pi over 6, which is a 30 degree. So now, before we fill it out, I hope you have this memory of the special angle. So now this is a sine, cosine, and tangent. Okay, we know this one is a degree, so this one is a 30 degrees. So which is a pi over 6. This is a 45 degree. If you multiply that by pi over 180, which gives us pi over 4. The next one is a 60 degree, which is a pi over 3. Now, the first column is about the sine and cosine and tangent. So now you already know the special triangle, isn't it? So 30 degree. So what is the value of sine pi over 6 or sine 30 degree? We know that it will be 1 over 2. Now sine 45 degrees, that is a root of 2 over 2. Sine 60 degrees, we know the root of 3 over 2. Okay? So if you're not sure how I get the 1/2 root of 2 over 2, 3 over 2, you can draw a right triangle. Then let's say this one is a theta, for example, this one is a 30 degrees. So we know this one is a 60 degrees, right? So the angle, the ratio is a 1 and 2, isn't it? Square root of 3. So sine 30 degrees is a opposite over hypotenuse, 1 over 2. Sine 60, now you're going to change the angle. So this one will be my opposite, this one will be my hypotenuse. So sine 60 is a opposite over hypotenuse, which is the root of 3 over 2. If you want to find out the root of 2 over 2, you can draw a special triangle, which is a 45 degree and 45 degrees and 90. The ratio is 1, 1, and root of 2. So from there, you can find out the cosine theta, so which is a root of 3 over 2, root of 2 over 2, and 1/2. Tan theta, how can you find out tan 30? So tan 30 is a opposite over adjacent. So 1 over root of 3. Tan 45, opposite over adjacent, 1 over 1, 1. So now tan 60, opposite over adjacent, root of 3 over 3, which is a root of 3. All right, now let's go back here. So cosine theta is x. Cosine pi over 6. Let's go back here. Cosine pi over 6, which is a root of 3 over 2. Root of 3 over 2. Now, the y coordinate is a sine theta. So sine pi over 6. So sine pi over 6, which is a 1/2. So this one is a 1/2. Now, let's try one more time. Now, the next one, oh, sorry. So this one is a 30. So the half of it is a 15. So we know this one is a 45 degrees. And the radian will be pi over 4. Now, again, the x-coordinate is a cosine pi over 4. So cosine pi over 4 will be root of 2 over 2. So root of 2 over 2. The y-coordinate is a sine theta. So sine pi over 4. So sine pi over 4 will be root of 2 over 2. Root of 2 over 2. All right. Now, let's try one more. The next one is a 60 degrees, which is a pi over 3. Now, x-coordinate is a cosine pi over 3. So cosine pi over 3, 1/2. So x-coordinate is a 1/2. Y-coordinate is a sine theta. So sine pi over 3 is a root of 3 over 2. Root of 3 over 2. So I will need to fill out this unit circle. So this one is a part of the homework. Okay? And then please go to Delta Math to finish your the another assignment.